Good evening, everyone. Hey Nadia, nice to see you. I hope you've had a good weekend and that everyone's had some nice vacation. Maybe it's a Swedish thing. In Sweden, everyone has vacation in July. It's like obviously everyone doesn't have vacation in July, but it's the big time for vacation. So most people are gone this month on vacation. So I still have one more week to go, but it's still nice. Hey Christian, are you on vacation? Or maybe I asked you last week. You were working one more week, I think, right? I've had I think I wanted to do, I've talked about this before, but I have so little time to produce videos that these live streams have become the main thing that I do on YouTube because I just like them so much. But I have lately been releasing 2 videos per week, one on Wednesdays and one on Saturdays. And instead saying that I need to just produce them quicker. I have so much I want to talk about and so much I want to say. The problem is it just takes a lot of time to make a video, and then you need to package it. You need to have some kind of thumbnail and come up with a good title and then write text for it and like upload it and do all that stuff. And it can take quite a few hours. It doesn't seem like it, but it takes a lot of time. And the problem is if you don't have a title and a topic that that catches people's attention, then YouTube simply won't show it to anyone, which is a shame. Now, I don't really see it as that big of a deal, but even though it is fun when people watch it and it brings more people here, so I do like it that people see them. But I see it more as I'm just practicing and learning. Like the idea is that I need to become better at explaining, and these evenings have been so good because you people, everyone keeps asking me questions, and then I have to answer, and I need to think about, okay, how does this work? How do I actually feel about this? Hey Nicole, nice to see you. And I think the last video I did about the ego, I don't know if you saw that one, but I think that one is a perfect example of something that I think is such a fundamental mistake in spirituality, in spiritual practice for many people, that we mistakenly believe that to overcome the self, we need to do unselfish action, which there is a point to that. Absolutely. If you hoard everything and just hold everything for yourself, then giving away is a great way to loosen up this feeling of this is me, like I want everything. But that has become the main way many people practice, so they just never go beyond that, and they miss so much of what's there. So it becomes about what you do, not about what you feel about what you do. And also the ego is a term that just people just throw it around randomly, like the ego, and we just assume that we know what it is. Yeah, I discussed that, and I also discussed that the problem is not the ego from the sense that we discuss it generally in daily life, but this sense of self, that I am here, and this is my opinion, this is what I stand for. And when we give away everything we have, there's a strong sense of me in that. Hey Tim, nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well with not taekwondo, mixed martial arts. I think you were doing. So thank you everyone, because if you didn't ask me all those questions, I wouldn't have come up with, because for me this is just so obvious. And I see people who go into the spiritual world and go out and they talk so nicely, and it's kind of, or they go out and they want to, basically what we do is we become spiritual, and then instead of being rich, famous, now they want to be like rich and famous in the sense that they have meditational experiences, they influence other people, they can see things beyond where they sit, they're light weavers, light workers, and they talk to other dimensions. And it's really, it's just the self kind of going haywire and finding a shortcut, because you believe that you're overcoming the sense of self, but you're actually making it really big, because you're not just a normal person, you're special, you have a purpose. It's when you start looking at it from how you feel, from the feeling, are you there, meaning is there something here that needs to be protected, then it just gets much easier, because you'll realize that we're just defending all of these beliefs. We're defending, and even as I say this now, like if I would feel bad when someone else says something different, then I would be defending my belief. So it's not that you cannot say what you believe, it's how you feel about what you say. So you can give everything you have away, and it can be the most strongest sense of self in the world, but you can also give everything away and have absolutely no sense of self. It's not about the actions you do, it is how you feel about those actions. So really, when you're on your spiritual journey and start doing this stuff, even if many of you haven't just started but actually been doing this for a long time, see, what does that feel like? Do you feel special? Are you doing this because you want to find out that, like, oh, I want to be someone, I want to be something, and I want to help the world, and I want to do good, and like all of those things are good things. They're really good things. But look if it's not creating just more sense of self. And if someone would be going around talking the way the spiritual people talk about their experience and stuff they do, of how they met semi-famous people, or how they talk to other semi-famous people, and how much money they make and the car they drive, people go, oh my goodness, this person is just unbearable. But in the spiritual world, you can talk like that because it's beautiful and nice, kind of. So it's very easy to trick yourself and actually building a stronger sense of self when what we're trying to do is have a less dense sense of self, so that we can move around in the world and not be so affected by the things that are happening around us, but instead just choose. Not because of this, oh, they're doing something I don't agree with, and then you get angry and you react. That's the same system, like 99.99999% of the people on the planet. That's how most people navigate. But we're trying to do something else. We're trying to be able to live in the world and just be joyous no matter what happens around us. And not because of what's happening, but because of the very feeling of being is enjoyable. It is enjoyable to be alive. We've just made it so damn difficult to enjoy being alive. You have to have all these things. So first you have to be rich, you have to have a partner, you have to have a child, you have to have a house, you have to have a well-paying job, and you have to have good education. You have to all these things, and you'll need to look good. And when you're 40, 50, then you need to still look good, and you still need to stay in shape, and you still need to do all those activities. But then we're spiritual people, so we don't do that. So instead, we need to be really spiritual. We need to look at all the Dhamma talks. We need to think that the Dalai Lama is the most amazing person on the planet. We need to believe that meditation saves lives and is the best thing that ever happened to anyone. We need to believe in reincarnation. We need to, we just replace one system with something else, instead of saying, like, wait. I've done this before. I've done this before. And I can recognize that it's the same thing, just in a new package. Why can't we just enjoy being alive? Why do we need to do all this stuff? Because really, in the end, it's just a matter of making or learning to make the choice to enjoy being here. And that is a difficult choice, because we're conditioned since birth to not be okay with just being here. We have all these things we need to do, just as a parent. I wish it wasn't so, but I'm ruining my kids. I'm doing my best to ruin them as little as possible. I promise you, I really am. But it is difficult, because we need to function as a family, and there are certain things we need to do at certain times. We need to move around in the world, and so because of that, it's very difficult to not, in a sense, ruin your children. And like I said, I try not to. I'm on staycation. That sounds amazing. It's actually really nice. I have one more week left, and then I'll be also on staycation, I guess you could say it. Yeah, so again, I don't want to offend anyone about when I say this stuff, but if I do, then it's probably a really good thing to look at why you're feeling offended. And it's not that you need to agree with what I say, but it's a good thing to let go of the distortion you have towards what I say. If you do. If you don't, then ask yourself, are you actually doing it? Because it's very easy to say it, but actually letting go of the idea that we don't need the outside world or inside world to be a specific way. We don't need other people to do what we believe in for us to be happy. It's very easy to say that, well, if everyone would follow my master, my teacher, if they would just do what he does or she does, then the world would be amazing. Or if everyone would just do my religion, then we'd have no problems. If everyone would just be like Swedish people, then there would be no problem on the world. I mean, seriously, there would be less problems on the planet if people were more like the general Swedish person, because Swedish people are generally not very conflict oriented. But there's also some other conflicts we have. So it's so easy to believe that if they just did what we did, then the world will be good. But we're not trying to change the world. We're not trying to make everyone else do what we want them to do. We're trying to be happy and enjoy being here no matter what they do. That's the whole point. It's not that you need to change the world to become this glorious haven that's so amazing where everyone does what you want them to do. And then, I mean, if that was the case, then the people with the most power on the planet, they would be the happiest people. And it most certainly doesn't seem like that. Even though they can make most things happen whatever they want. I mean, within limits, of course, but that is not what we're talking about. I'm talking about the ability to just sit still and do what we do, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. We just look at things around us and we enjoy seeing them. It's nice to see things. It's nice to be alive. Not because of what other people say about me, not because of what other people do, but actually just right now, right here, in this like tangible moment in time, because it is just one moment that's just moving. It's not this sense we feel like it's kind of flowing, but it's not. It's just now. And when you drop out of that movement and just feel now, that's when all of this stuff just makes so much more sense, because then it doesn't matter what other people do. It doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have, because it's just enjoyable to be alive. Yeah, so I've had my 10-minute rant there. If anyone has anything to say about it, tell me. And again, as I said in the beginning, this a big reason as to why I'm more able to express this is because of the conversations we're having here, because of I think the coaching calls I have are amazing. I feel like I sometimes learn just as much as the people I coach, because they help me become clearer in what I say. Hey Nicole, you're the king today. It's hard to drop everything. So here's the thing with dropping everything. It's not that you need to drop everything in the sense that you can't do anything. It's just that the feeling that things need to be a certain way, that's the thing you need to drop. So if you have everyone today probably has a political person they don't like. A good practice is to watch them and see, can you watch them and not feel bad? And not be like, oh, that son of a... And I'm not saying agree with what they say. This has nothing to do with what they're doing. It just is this sense of distortion, you punishing yourself because they're being an asshole. I mean, there are a lot of people who are being assholes. Let's just be frank, right? People acting in ways that are just so insane, you wonder why on earth would they do this? And for some reason, we think that because they're being idiots, I should feel bad. Why? Why? Drop that you're feeling bad and then just say, well, they're being idiots. But you don't need to feel bad about that. Even if it affects you, there's no reason why you need to feel bad about that. So we're not talking about agreeing. We had a discussion the other week about forgiveness. Forgiving someone doesn't say... So say that, Nicole, you stole something from me and you were really mean to me. I trusted you and you took something that was mine and I forgive you. What that means is not me saying, it's okay, Nicole, you keep it. I forgive you. We're friends again and we'll carry on as if nothing happened. No. What that means is that I let go of this feeling I'm feeling towards you. I let go of that. And then I choose. And I can choose what to say. I can say, well, Nicole did that because she was in a really bad situation. She needed that to say one of her children. I don't know. An excuse that I would find reasonable. But if you just stole it and there's no reason, then I'd say, well, there's no reason why I would let Nicole stay in my life anymore. Because she's obviously a person I cannot trust. So then I'll just move away from you and I might file charges. But I'm not doing it from... It's the same with dropping things. It's not that you need to stop doing them or need to say that what they're doing that you don't agree with is okay. It just means that you're not motivated to stop them from this place of distortion or anger. Hey Jethro, I came here for the rant, but I will also stay for the meditation. You're welcome. We have this fun thing that YouTube is doing, that they put a crown next to the... I'm not sure how that works, to be honest. Let's see what they say. If you look at Nicole's... yes, I see now that Nicole has 50 experience points. Esperanza has 25. Jethro has 25. But for some people, the people who wrote... Oh no, Nicole... Nadia didn't get anything. Because last time it was very strange. You just gave like points to Mats, so we called him the king. Obviously today Nicole is the queen, so we shall all bow to the queen. It's some system that I have there where they rank the people depending on how active you are in the discussion of the stream. Yeah. If you have any thoughts on this, please share them, because I find this a really interesting topic and something that I find... hey, look at this. Enlightened Royalty number 3. Now it's showing for you also. Maybe it takes a few chats before it starts showing up. I hope to gather enough experience to level up to a higher spiritual plane. Maybe then I can be happy. I hope you said that in a joking way. Yeah, Mats, you're late, and then you're no longer the king. So it's the same thing there, Tim. Let's see, I hope to gather enough experience to level up to a higher spiritual plane. It's not about getting to a higher spiritual plane. Like I meditated. Yeah, on a bad day, I meditated like 8 hours per day. But usually 10 to 15 hours per day. I did a lot of meditation, and I had all these weird experiences there. Some are so outrageous that I just cannot explain, and it's difficult to tie them. I mean, I know what most of them were, kind of, the names that you put on them. Some just, I don't even know what to call that. And they didn't change much. It's kind of like having sex. When you're 16 and you're a virgin, you're like, oh my goodness, if I would just have sex with I need to come up with the name of no, with Karen. If I could just have sex with Karen, my life would be amazing. Can you imagine Karen? Everyone knows Karen. She's like the hottest girl in the class. My life would be amazing if I could just do that. And we have this like idea that if I could just do that, then and it's the same. Spiritual plane, spiritual experience, they just come and go. It's really cool and it's really nice, but it doesn't change much. But what really changes, what really is a permanent change, and this is something I believe strongly in, firmly in, is that spiritual experiences, they come and go, and they're not really that important. But if you can find a way to change how you relate to the world around you, in other words, how you can learn how to exist in this world and enjoy being here no matter what everyone else is doing, not because you have changed them to do what you think they should do, but despite, or maybe not despite, no matter what they do, you can still learn to be happy. If you learn how to do that in your meditation, then that's something that's permanent, because that goes with you. And the more you do that, the more you'll have an easier time just going around feeling, oh, it's really nice being here. Like I can actually vouch for, it's nice being alive, because most people don't find it really nice to be alive. It's a struggle. It's a fight. I have to keep on working, and I have to do all these things just to like keep my head above. That's not really enjoying being alive. But the more you learn how to enjoy being here, no matter what other people do, not because you've changed them, because you changed yourself, that is something that's permanent. So you don't need to level up to a higher spiritual plane. When I was meditating a lot, I'd often go with my eyes kind of, I can't barely do it now. There's like a concentration state, and my eyes just fall. I lose all control over my eyes. Like if I put muscles into it, I need to break that state to open my eyes, because they kind of shut by themselves, and that is connected to states. Like, I'm sure if I would have some kind of way of scanning my brain, that would show me changing whatever brainwave I was doing. But it doesn't matter, because you're kind of numb to the world around you, and you're just living in your bubble. And as soon as you come out of that, well, everything's there. There's a sense of calmness that stays with you for a while. But then it comes back. So what's the point? That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to achieve a permanent state change in how we relate to the world. Hey, now Esper, Tim is the king. Nicole is demoted to number 2. I love all this ranking. It's amazing. It's so good. I agree with you, Nicole. Really, we were saying yesterday, last time Mats was saying, like, he was number 1, and he said something brilliant. I actually screen copied it because he was so good. He said that, you see this crown? Like, until you have a crown like this, you are not allowed to be happy. And that's basically what we say. We say, well, until you look like this person on the front of the Time magazine, then you're not allowed to be happy. And we see these images of mothers like on Facebook or on YouTube, and there are these amazing people, and they do all these incredible things, or fathers who go out and play soccer every day and build a house for their kids and like work 10 jobs and like Superman and do everything. Like, oh, when I'm like that, then I can allow myself to feel happy. So Matt was joking last time and said, when you have the crown that I have, then you can allow yourself to be happy. See this crown? Yeah, you need that one. And we joked about it, and it looked funny, but it's true. We do the same thing. Like, oh, if I could just have the spiritual experience, or if I could just experience what he or she is experiencing, then I could be happy. We just make it so damn difficult to be happy. So, yeah, you're right, Nicole. It's really funny that it keeps ranking this now. Hey, my mama. So funny to read what you all wrote and having to guess how this conversation has been going so far. Yeah, I can imagine that's a bit confusing. Nadia, I'm trying, but honestly still not enjoying being here. Now I'm in a lot of pain due to neck shoulder injury causing head pains. I really don't want to be here. I'm trying to dissociate from the pain. One of the nice things to do when we have something that, and I do this all the time, this is also so interesting. I have been doing this unconsciously until not long ago when I was talking to a coaching client, and he was describing like, oh, no, you just do it like this. I'm like, wait a minute, that's really, why haven't I thought about that before? Even though I did it myself, I didn't know how to express it. So if you have this feeling, let's all just do this now. If we're sitting, and we'll do it in the meditation, but just try it. If you're sitting and you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling this pressure towards something, then feel how you can feel. Just go inwards and feel. Like, I always use the breath as an anchor, kind of. I always have some kind of awareness of the breath. But then feel, I am here. You can feel kind of like, this is me. I'm sitting here. And not anything exaggerated. There's just a feeling, oh, here I am. And then you feel this, I don't want to be here. Maybe it's directed towards the pain. Maybe it's directed towards something someone did towards you, something someone didn't do towards you, or something that happened, or something you want, something you don't want. And you can feel like, okay, I am here, and then it's this separate part that's making me feel bad. There's this feeling of I don't want to be here, and it's an uncomfortable churning feeling, usually in the stomach area, somewhere around there. But it can be other places. And you feel it's separate from me, because I am this feeling of me, and then I have this other thing that's uncomfortable, that's kind of hurting me. And if you can see those two things almost as separate, many times there's a third thing, which is the thing that causes the pressure. So if you have the pain in the neck, that's the thing. And then there's the feeling that causes inside of you, like, oh, I don't want to feel this pain. Or if there's a partner, then they're the third, second object in this. And they're causing this thing that's attacking me, this feeling, oh, how could they do that to me? The thing is, that feeling that you feel is attacking you is not from the outside. That thing is the sense of self. That thing you feel is attacking you, that is you. That is literally you attacking yourself. So if you just move your awareness from feeling I am here, and you look at that thing that is hurting you, and you feel, wait a minute, this is me. I am doing this. And you stop seeing it as someone attacking you, something separate from you, but in fact, that is you hurting yourself. If you look at that, if you feel that, if you just let it happen and relax into it, instead of feeling, oh, it's such an uncomfortable feeling, I don't dare to feel it because it's so painful, and just go, wait a minute, this is me. I don't have to be afraid of my feelings. I don't need to worry about this. And just let it sweep over you. And you'll see that that thing just disappears many times. And then maybe go, wait a minute, like I didn't do anything. I shouldn't be feeling good. I should probably analyze this a bit more, and then you make yourself feel bad again. But try that and see if that changes anything. Mindful Mama, oh, this is such a good way of approaching. I have this often when my kids don't behave how I want to think. I don't want my life to be like this. Going to try to feel that is me doing all this. Having this distortion towards what is really going on. Yeah, exactly. And it really works. I do this, I think, every single day. I mean, I've been doing it, but I haven't been thinking about it. I've just been moving my awareness there. But after I said that to this person that I had the coaching call with, I'm like, I should be doing this more often because this is really good advice. I should be advising myself to do this. Has anyone experienced this, or do you understand what I'm trying to show with it, if we say that? Yes, I will make a video. Now, just as you were writing that now, it's like, I should make a video about this because it's a good topic. It's difficult in the heat of the moment, though. Probably practice make it. Yeah. One of the reasons why we do these meditations is to be aware, because most people are not even aware. Most people just walk around and they feel, oh, and they start yelling and screaming and acting out towards the world around them. Most people here stop and feel, but they can't do anything about it because we haven't learned techniques or ways to actually approach this. And again, spirituality, if you just say like, oh, I just be loving towards everything, and like, I don't love it, and I don't, but if you can actually see and understand that this is you, that tends to help. Jeffrey, I think I understand. Is it identifying that the resistance itself is separate from the feeling and from your feeling? Wait, let me think. I think I understand. Is it identifying that the resistance itself is separate from the feeling and from your feeling of self? No, they're the same. The feeling is the resistance. The feeling disappears. It's just peacefulness that's left. Feelings in many ways are distortions. It's just, they're a bit more complicated to talk about as feelings, but that thing that you feel, the resistance, is the feeling. So it's not that you should feel love towards them. There would just be peace. When you're in a state of non-centeredness, non-duality, you don't really feel love. You just feel peace. And I don't mean bliss. It's just it's like the whole world is perfect. The whole world is absolutely perfect. And there's a feeling of sacredness to it. It's just looking at it. It's, wow, I don't need to change it. It's just perfect the way it is. And then you can change that perfection however you like. But you don't feel the need that, oh, I need to change. If you're talking about, Jeffrey, that there's someone you don't like, and like, oh, I need to change them to my belief, that is gone. It's completely gone. They cannot hurt you. They can hurt you physically and financially, but they cannot hurt this you, because there's nothing there. That's why you feel like, I am here, there's this person doing this to me, this thing here in between, this resistance, this feeling, oh, I hate them, or I wish they didn't do this, whatever it is, that feeling is you hurting yourself. That's where you move your awareness and you see, this is me. There's so much talk about people sending negative energies and stuff. I think most of that, people just complicate their lives. Just feel what you can feel. Having a crown helps too. It does help. I think I skip the work and try to get the crown instead. You need to keep up, Mindful Mama. See, Esperanza is saying, realizing that feelings linger as sensations in the body and concentrating, yes, without judgment makes them go away and turn them into joy, even as a major revelation. Yeah, thank you for expressing that. Let me see. Realizing that feelings linger as sensations in the body and concentrating. I'm going to screenshot that. Give me a second. I like that one, Tim. Wait. So. Got this from Eckhart Tolle. I like that one. And it's even more that they just linger. The feelings themselves are the distortions most of the time. But again, like I said, there's a bit more to feelings than just saying they're just distortions. Nice. Yeah, so seeing how after you have this feeling of distortion, there's like almost like a feeling afterwards. After you felt this anger towards them, it's still there. It's like a distortion. And moving your awareness into this and seeing like that is you. The feeling of you comes from this distortion because the self thrives on conflict and thrives on dissent and anger. Like it wants to have, this is mine, this is yours, I know where this is. So when you take that away from the sense of self, it disappears. Because without it, it doesn't exist. If you haven't seen it, watch the last video I did. I think I go through this pretty well and describe it. How the sense of self actually comes up. It needs to have conflict. There needs to be something you disagree with, because without that, it just cannot exist. Really nice discussion. Unless someone had something else they wanted to bring up with that. Just move this one. If you have something else you want to bring it up. Otherwise, I'll go on. So for those of you who are new, you're welcome. Still don't see a crown there, though. I'm going to see, can I see how, like what the points are? Oh yeah, now more people are filling up. And you can see how many points they have. That's interesting from a meditational perspective. So we start out just having a chat like this in the beginning. Then we do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is a way of bringing us back into our senses. Today is Monday, so we'll have a guided meditation. And it's 20 minutes. And then after that we go to sleep and sleep really well, hopefully. So, if anyone has anything else, write it now or forever hold your silence. Or hold your silence until Thursday. Or you can write it in the Discord chat. Oh yeah, those of you who aren't yet in the Discord chat, feel free to join the... I will give you my crown and my ego will feel so generous. Exactly. That's like, when you start seeing this stuff, you go around like, oh my goodness, I'm such an idiot. Because I've been doing this my whole life, and you can see other people do, and you do like, why do they do this? This is so silly. Why are they ruining their own lives? Like, why do they make it so difficult? And this, yeah, we really messed up. It's like, I can understand why we had this from the beginning, but the way that it's been messed up now, and I'm not going to go into too much to that, but I think social media and the way that the society works today, how it's giving us these images that we need to live up to, is just really messing with these old systems that were put in place to make sure we had food, that we knew how to keep safe, what could kill us, what we could kill, where to find shelter, how to procreate, and how to take care of our kids. Like, it had good reasons in the beginning to exist, but now it's really hurting us. Jeffrey, could you touch on anger? I find it difficult to deal with when it comes up and often lingers for a long time. How does one have a better relationship with it and know what to do when it arises? I'm not actually going to do that today, Jeffrey, because that's a really good question. Could you save that one until next time? And I'd be more than happy to bring it up, because it's I feel like I could go into that quite a lot. But if you think about what we talked about before, how you have this me, this them, this thing here in between, you feel like they're attacking you with their anger. Move into that and feel it, and also be okay with it. Forgive yourself. Don't be hard on yourself about this. But I feel like I would want to talk more about that, so save that one until next time, and I'll go into that one. I've had anger. I've always been able to control my anger, but I have been really irritated at people, and I have this like low level irritation kind of that can simmer over into anger. So I would love to talk more about that. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, Discord. I was saying, if you aren't on Discord, jump on Discord. There's a link in every video. The first comment, you can just click there and join. And sometimes there's discussions there. It happens sometimes that people actually after jump on. There's a voice chat. So if everyone here wants to like go and have a discussion after, you can just jump on the voice chat and talk with each other. And once per week we have, once per month we have a group coaching call as well. So we had the one in June, May, and there's going to be one now in July also. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So join up there as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So we say out aloud 5 things we can see, 4 things we can feel, 3 things we can hear, and 2 things we can smell, 1 thing we can taste. The reason we're doing this is to learn to see reality as it is. We don't see the world around us as it is, because all of the things we've been talking about now, the reason that is a problem is not because you're a bad person if you do them. It's not that you're going to go to hell if you don't do the right thing. I mean, I have no idea what happens after life, so don't quote me on that. But the main reason that we want to not feel distortion, we want to not feel anger, and we want to not feel anger. Did I say one too many knots there? Meaning having the resistance to anger and wanting to get rid of it. Like, it's the same thing. Is that when we have these distortions, all of a sudden we're not able to see the world anymore as it is. As most of you remember when you were younger, we had this feeling, oh, I can take on the world. Like when you woke up in the morning, like, oh, it's going to be nice going out today. What am I going to do? And there's like, the world is open. There's no feeling like, oh, I know my routine, I'm stuck, I'm just going to do this. And life starts gradually feeling heavier and heavier and heavier when we get older. But when we were younger, most of us, not all of us unfortunately, but most when we were kids, just have an easier time going around like, oh, it's exciting, look at this, and they take up this one and they just throw it away. My kids just do weird stuff sometimes. It's irritating, but I also have to admit I appreciate when I see them do, like my son will just take up something and just like play with and just like throw it at me all of a sudden. Why'd you do that? Like, I don't know. Just likes to try out the world, kind of. I'm not saying you should go and throw stuff at people, but the idea, or they will take something and just like, he'll have an egg, not eggs because he knows you shouldn't break. He'll have food and he just push it on the ground. Huh. That's interesting. It's just lying there, Papa. Somebody should pick that up. So having that lightness of just exploring the world, because when we start distorting, we don't see that anymore. See, Christian, cool story, bro. To the voice toy. Oh yeah, interesting. Nice. So when we look at these 5 things, we say out aloud 5 things, and I'll say them out. I see candy. Now when I look at this, I can say, ooh, I want this. This is tasty, or this is bad for me. I know this is bad for me. Contains sugar, it's bad. Instead of doing that, we see, when I look at this, I can see all the structure of it. There's all these dents, and I can see how the light is shining through and making kind of like a halo around it. And then there's bubbles in it. Oh, and here's a completely different structure than here. It's like an indentation here. Yeah, that feels nice. And I can look at it and really see it and be curious, as a child who doesn't know what this is. I mean, a child would obviously already have it in their mouth, but the feeling of like, what is it? Sorry, not feeling, just seeing the shapes, shadows, reflections, and just being curious about what you see. And I say this over and over, but really when you let go of the distortions, when you let go of this stuff, many times you'll pop into a state where you just go around like, oh, I never noticed how nice that sofa was over there. I never thought about how that carpet just looks really nice in this light. That's being non-centric, because then all of a sudden you start appreciating how everything looks, how everything feels, you hear everything. It's many times when you meet someone, you're loving with them in the beginning, you'll have those moments, you just see them, you just look at them like, wow, it's incredible, look at them, they're amazing. Then 6 months later, you're like, what the heck was I thinking? Like, is this the same person? Or hopefully 10 years later, you go like, wow, he or she is still as beautiful to me as they were when we met. So piece of candy. I see a baton. Same thing here. Say it out loud on your end as well. Not what I'm seeing, but something you're seeing. See the reflections, see the shadows, all the details, and just really look at it. I see a ruler. I see a office chair. I see a pair of socks. That was 5 things that I could see, I think at least. Next we take 4 things that we can feel. So I can feel my hand moving over my arm. Really interesting. And I can feel even when I don't touch it, I can feel the heat from my hand radiating. And I can gently feel it when I'm a little bit closer, how the hairs on my arm are being touched. And again, just being curious, being aware, really feeling what it feels like to touch your arm, because so often we just go like, oh yeah, that's happened before. I feel this woolen sofa. I can feel the shape, the structure, I feel it's tickling me. There's all these like dents and curvatures where it's been sewn. I can feel my foot. It's very dry. It's almost cutting me. I can feel this metal cylinder. Don't make a big deal out of it and become too spiritual, like, oh, I'm really gonna feel it and like test it. No, we're just trying to feel it. Like, it doesn't need to be anything special. Sometimes you pop in and it does feel very different. But you cannot make that happen. That happens when you're just relaxed and just enjoying it and just feeling, oh, this is interesting. Look at that. Huh. That was 4 things that I could feel. Next we take 3 things that we can hear. I hear a car off in the distance. I can hear the fan on my computer. I can hear birds singing. There's 3 things that I could hear. And when you do the listening and the others, don't feel I'm here and I'm kind of reaching out, trying to feel something or hear something. We're just kind of opening up. Being spacious and letting the sounds come to us. Next we have 2 things that we can smell. I can smell sweat. There's a smell of a closed room when it's warm. There was 2 things I could smell. Finally, I have 1 thing that we can taste. Well, I have a pill in my mouth, so everything tastes like spicy strawberries. So for this meditation, just start focusing on your breath. Just bring your awareness to your breath and feel what does it feel like when you're breathing in and breathing out. And as you know from before, we don't look for specific physical sensations necessarily. It's more the awareness that breath is happening. And we're trying to bring this awareness to a level where we can do this most time of the day. Meaning for a majority of the part of the day, you will be aware that breath is happening. That's all it's there to do. Don't need to go in and feel any details. Don't need to do any specific with it. We're just trying to be aware the breath is happening. And then on top of that, we can use other exercises. But for now, we're just trying to be aware the breath is happening. Now, it's important to sit in a comfortable position, but you can also stand up, you can lie down, you could even be walking if you wanted to and kept your eyes open. And the main thing is that we're trying to limit the amount of stimuli that we're giving ourselves so that it's easy for us to learn how to observe the breath. It's also a good idea, if it's comfortable for you, to close your eyes. And for some people that can feel or cause a mild sense of anxiety. And if it does, then by all means keep your eyes open. The whole idea is to make it comfortable for you so that you can spend as much of your awareness as possible on just being aware of breath happening inside of you. We're also not trying to adjust our breath or make the breath do anything in particular. Instead, we're just trying to let breath happen by itself, whatever it wants to do. This is not breath work. We're not trying to create a state in our body. Instead, we're trying to create awareness of our body. And as I'm talking, always keep an eye out on the breath, what it's doing right now. And just become more relaxed as you're observing the breath. To make it a little bit easier to do this, we're going to be counting our breaths from 1 to 8, and then down again from 8 to 1. And this is not something you need to do throughout the day or even the whole time during this meditation. It's just that in the beginning, if you do the counting, it really helps to hold your awareness and say, hey, look here, we're doing the counting of the breath, that's what we're going to do. And to make it even easier, we also put the count at the end of the breath when there's a slight pause. So normally the breath goes in and the breath turns around and there's a little bit of a pause. And it goes out, pause. In that pause is where the thoughts usually come in and you drift away into your thoughts. So we put the count of the breath in the middle of that pause, which will mean that it's in, out, 1. And the reason we do this is, as I say, because it really helps with not drifting off into our thoughts. So I'll do this exercise with you once, count from 1 to 8, and then down from 8 to 1. And then you can keep doing it yourself until I come back again. Also, I will be breathing loud in and out. That's not how you need to do it. I'm just doing that to emphasize that I'm breathing in and then out. So breathing in and out. 1. In and out. 2. In and out. 3. In and out. 4. In and out. 5. In and out. 6. In and out. 7. In and out. 8. In and out. 7. In and out. 6. In and out. 5. In and out. 4. In and out. 3. In and out. 2. In and out. 1. Now keep counting your breath, going from 1 to 8, then down again from 8 to 1 as you breathe in and out. 1. In and out. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you're sitting like this. And you notice how difficult it is to just stay with the breath. Very likely your thoughts are going to intrude, and it feels like they're pulling you away, and you're no longer aware of your breath. Instead of getting angry at yourself, instead of feeling disappointed, or thinking that other people sitting here very likely don't have these problems, it's just me, I'm such a bad meditator, I wish I was like everyone else, or other people at least that are better than me. It's not about not drifting off with your thoughts or not having thoughts. Thoughts will always be there. I have never met anyone who, through meditation, stopped their thoughts and they never came back. That's not how thoughts work. They can change a lot, but they don't just disappear like that. They will always come back. And even if you didn't have thoughts, you'd still have distortions. The main way that you do this meditation successful is to just come back to your breath. In fact, the more times you're able to come back, the better. It's not that you need to stay longer periods of not disappearing with your thoughts. It's more that you get better at discovering that you drifted off with your thoughts and are able to come back. And eventually you won't go completely lost in your thought. You'll just be 80% in your thoughts and 20% will be with your breath. And eventually maybe it's 50-50 or less. So whenever you notice that you've drifted off into your thoughts, just come back. Start over counting from 1 to 8, and 8 to 1, or just start in the middle. It doesn't matter. But be kind to yourself, be forgiving, and realize that a good meditator is not someone who doesn't have intruding thoughts. It's someone who's able to over and over and over and over and over and over and over again come back to their breath, or whatever their object of meditation may be, as they breathe in and out. 1, in and out. 2. Imagine that you're lying in bed at night, just waking up, and you feel relaxed, you feel calm. Life is good. And you're lying on your arm. and just enjoying being there. And then all of a sudden, your arm smacks you in the face. Like, what? And then you look at your arm like, why did it do that? And then it happens again. And you notice your arm has one of those twigs, I'm not sure what it's called, where your nerve just spasms. It just keeps on smacking you in the face. Like over and over again, like, well, this is kind of like, what the heck is happening here? And then you move your arm away, but it still keeps on smacking away and hurting yourself. You probably wouldn't be angry at your arm. You just go like, well, this is embarrassing or a bit dumb. When you learn to see how it's not someone else giving you your distortions or these bad feelings, but in fact you are doing that to yourself. That's about as silly as it seems to do that. The problem being that it's unfortunately more difficult to stop doing than just moving your arm away from your face. But ultimately, it is a habituated habit that you've learned throughout the years. That when certain things happen, you're supposed to smack yourself in the face. It might seem incredible, but when you start seeing this is how dumb it seems to be that we do this to ourselves. To see this for yourself, if you're sitting, again, whenever I talk, whenever anything happens in the meditation, always keep a part of your awareness on the breath. Not the sensations, but just the awareness the breath is happening. So if you're right now sitting with a difficult feeling towards someone, and you feel like, I am here, they are over there, and they did this to me. And you can feel that in between, there is a pressure, there is a wave, there is a feeling of anger or resentment or disappointment or something making you feel a pressure between you and them. If you can feel this and just let that be there and see what that looks like. And as it's happening, realize that the difficult sensation, what they did is real. It's not that that's not true. They did something towards you, or something happened that you don't agree with that they did. That is true. We're not trying to change that or say that, oh, they did it for whatever reason. We're just aware that this happened. So instead we're looking at that thing happening in between, this feeling of you and this feeling of them. Again, not that they don't exist, but they also have a kind of feeling within us. And that pressure in between, that feels like it's attacking you, that feels like it's hurting you, that is you. So just move your awareness more towards that and see what that feels like. And realize that this is your arm spasming in the middle of the night, smacking you in the face over and over again, and yet you're blaming the other person for you smacking yourself in the face. That might feel threatening to say, it might feel difficult to hear, but move your awareness into it and see that if you can just feel it without resisting it, many times it will just plainly disappear and go away. Did anyone try that last exercise and have anything to share? I'm curious to see if it worked for you. JVB wrote something. Sometimes I push people out of my life unnecessarily when perhaps they need to be in my life a bit more longer. How do I let my relationships flow while giving people the proper time in my life? No, it's okay. We can take that next time, JVB. Just come back with that one. If anyone has any thoughts, or we'll just go to bed, that's fine as well. I'm gonna go to bed, but I'd be curious. Thanks, Mats. Nice having you here. Hope you get your crown back. Esperanza, thanks. Today's helped me a lot. I'm going to have dinner now. Bye. Bye, Tim. The king has left the building, so I guess we all should leave. I enjoyed it. As I said, these evenings give me just as much as they give you. And the coaching calls are even better many times. Yeah. How do I get crowned? That's a discussion we'll take next time, JVB. That I'll just quote, say, Jeffrey, that feeling went away and then came back. What happens is we move into it, and then it goes away, and then the mind goes, wait a minute, I didn't do anything. Nothing's changed. I should still be feeling bad. And so then we make ourselves feel bad again. This is really common when we start out, because it's as if though it couldn't be this easy. I can't just stop feeling bad. No, I need to change something. And you need to do this over and over and over and over again. Eventually, your body kind of gets it. Okay, I actually am allowed to feel good. It doesn't need to change. Thank you, Nicole. It is much better now. She's the queen. Nice. We'll talk more on Thursday. And hope everyone has a great week. Thank you for tonight. And keep practicing this. Really try it. When you have a difficult emotion, move yourself into it and see, hey, this is not something hurting me. This is me spasming and hitting myself in the face. Which seems kind of silly, but that's just how silly it seems from that, like when you actually start noticing this. Bye, everyone.